let's get started. So just to give you a little feedback, Terry, you know who we are. Dawn, you might know who we are as well, but I miss seeing our team photo, so I like to show it anytime I can. This was us when we used to get together in person in front of the career, which is in the admin building. And what we do is we try to help prepare students for career readiness in any way that takes place from the time that they start first year all the way till their senior year before they graduate, making sure that they have resources to help support them in their career readiness and their journey. And we have a team of 8 professional career counselors, and they're helping our students in this virtual environment through continued one-on-one appointments and support. They're continuing to do webinars. So workshops that we used to do live in the classroom, we now do in this format. So if you know of any faculty members that might want to have one of our consultants come in to do a webinar for their class in the virtual world, we're more than happy to do it. We're still doing that. And we also are continuing to do a lot of career virtual events, mainly a lot of panels, which have been actually really good in a virtual environment because we now have more access to people that we might not have had access to before, as far as like having some issues with like regional, access, or people having to coordinate travel. Now, through Zoom world, it's a little bit easier to actually schedule some time to meet with people. So that's been really a good thing of being in this virtual space. And then we wanted to highlight some of our virtual resources, and today it'll be SJSU², which is an actual platform that connects students to mentors, and it's just for our SJSU students. So today, Larissa's going to introduce that platform to you and how you can best refer your students to use it. And then at the end of the overview, we have just some Q&A time if there's any other questions that you might have about this or anything that we've been doing in the career area. With that, I will pass it on over to Larissa.
Thank you, Anita. So first, just kind of starting with some background information as to why mentoring is really important and impactful for our students. So we do know that, the number one reason why students choose higher education is to advance their career. So it's really important that they're getting connected with the resources to further that journey while they are in their degree studies. We also know from that same research that for students that have a degree that doesn't necessarily align to a specific career path, that having a mentor and advisor does help them make that connection between degree and work and helps them understand why they're pursuing their particular degree. So for students that are in, the humanities, the arts, right, having some sort of connection as to how does this degree relate to an actual career pathway is really helpful and impactful for them. And then finally, from Gallup, we know that college graduates are 2 times more likely to be engaged in their work post-graduation if they have a mentor that helped them and encouraged them to pursue their goals and dreams. So in general, we know that mentorship is really helpful and impactful for students. This is especially true for first-generation students. So that is why we, in collaboration with our Alumni Association, actually started this platform a few years back. So SJSU² Mentoring at Meetups is an online platform that connects students with mentors that can be alumni or other professionals, and it's really designed to support student career success. So some of the benefits for students participating on this platform is that they are able to explore career pathways, make connections with folks that are in those areas, as well as, make industry connections with different organizations as well. And that is through Quick Connections. And then we also have mentors that are there that can help students, make connections that are helpful in getting them information to launch their career successfully. So we know, a lot of time, like just online reading about careers is not necessarily a full story, and having someone that has that insider's perspective to tell you what should you be studying, what skills and traits and knowledge do you need, what's helpful in the interview process, right? All of those kind of insider traits can be really helpful for students as they are going forward and launching their careers. And then finally, we are currently working on piloting a new area of this platform, which will help get students exposure to the workplace. So that is called SJSU² Projects, and it's really going to be focused around job shadows and exposure to work settings. So really excited to add that to this platform going forward. So how do students participate? I kind of covered these, but there's 4 core areas that we have on the platform. The first area is those quick connections. So these are short, one-time informational interviews with a career professional. And these are available to students year-round. So if you have students in your class or that are meeting with you that are saying, I really don't know anyone in my industry or in my field, great for them to get on this side of the platform and meet someone, have a quick conversation and get some tips. And the next area that we have on the platform is a professional mentoring program. This takes place during the fall and spring semesters, and it's a structured program designed for students who are more interested in a long-term mentorship. So this program is by applicants, admission by applicants only. So they do have to apply and have a clear career goal in mind. So if you're with a student who's like, this is what I want to do, this is the area that I'm interested in, I just need someone to kind of, be a long-term mentor to help me get through, my resume, interview prep, kind of all of those kind of career readiness tools. This might be a better match for them than Quick Connections, which is really designed for a one-time conversation. The other area is groups, and this will be piloting in spring, but this is really just going to be a hub for folks to gather around the specific affinity, industry, regional group, or a social group. So that's still kind of in beta right now, and we're going to be launching that in spring. And then there's one other area, which is the SJSU² Projects, and that has been in pilot for fall, and then we will continue pilot for spring 21 with that platform as well.
Larissa, can I ask what is PMM mean?
Professional mentoring and meetups.
Oh, okay.
So that is our formal program.
Oh, thank you.
Larissa, is it possible to just give our listeners an idea of how many students are currently registered on the platform and how many mentors we have?
Yeah, so we have well over 550 mentors. Students is a little harder to track since it's single sign-on. Technically, they all have access to the platform. But the last time I checked, it was well over 1,300 students that were, engaging in conversation on the platform.
And that's really exciting too, to know that we have 550 professional mentors. I think a good percentage of that are alumni who are saying that they're willing and wanting to connect directly with our students to provide informational interviews or just some one-on-one support. So if you do find that students are searching for connections and don't know how to maybe they're scared to network, or like they're scared to go on LinkedIn and try to find a professional that they can reach out to, the platform SJC² would be a great place for them to start, because every mentor on the platform, all 550 of them, have said they want to actually connect with students, and they're very open to having those conversations.
Correct. Yeah, so it kind of takes some of that anxiety out, because the students already know that these folks are wanting to help them, that are ready and available to support them. So it's a little less anxiety rather than kind of reaching out to someone kind of cold, right, through LinkedIn or through their networks. So Anita, did we skip a slide? I think there was the student benefits. Okay. Okay, well, covered benefits for faculty. Some of the things that you all can utilize this for is if you have any informational interview class assignments, it's a great resource to just, suggest to students if they are looking for contacts for informational interviews in their field. Also, there is a ability to request speakers and panelists for your class. We do ask for a 2-week lead time for that, but one of the things that we ask faculty, one of the things that we ask our alumni and other professionals as they sign up for the program is if they are interested in participating in other connection events with students. So we do have the availability to make those connections for you if you're looking for folks to actually come and speak to your classes. And then the last area is if you have alumni and other professionals in your network that are looking for opportunities to get back to the university, this is a great platform to refer them to because it is virtual and because it is kind of flexible as far as their time commitment.
And there might be user error on my end, but there was supposed to be a slide on benefits for students. Chat briefly on that too. Larissa, if you don't mind, just a quick overview on the benefits for students.
Yeah, so the benefits for students are pretty similar, right? So they do have, access to alumni and professionals that have already opted in to supporting them and providing them with resources for their career journey. The other benefit for students is that it is, is not as difficult as kind of cold calling someone, as I previously mentioned, right? These are warm contacts for them, folks that have already kind of opted into providing support. And this is something that they can use throughout their journey, right? So for freshman year all the way to once they're alumni, they can participate in this platform. And we do have alumni to alumni mentoring as well. So once they're an alumni, they can volunteer to support their peers as well as also get that support too once they're post-graduation. So Anita, if you don't mind, I'll take over the screen. Yes. And then if you all have questions, feel free to jump in. This is really supposed to be a conversation. So at any point you need clarification, just feel free to jump in. All right, so how to find SJSU². So this is our main Career Center website. If you go under resources, it is the third one that is listed here. So if I click on that, it'll take me to the main landing page for SJSU². It'll give me a little overview about what this platform is, what can I expect from it. And if I click on the image, it will actually prompt me to do single sign-in to log into this platform. For alumni and other professionals, they can sign up with their preferred email address, or they can also sign up through their LinkedIn account. So that makes it a little bit easier for them, right? They can pull that information over from LinkedIn if they've already kind of created a profile there. So both students and alumni do have to create a profile for this platform. As I mentioned, they can just pull their LinkedIn information if they've already built that. But the purpose is so that, both the student and the mentor are able to, see each other and determine, just from their profile if they're going to be good matches to support each other. All right, so after students sign up for the platform, it does recommend a mentor for them based on how they completed kind of those initial profile setup questions and identified what areas they were looking for help in. They can either connect with that recommended connection, or they can skip that and they have access to our full alumni and other professional database under quick connections. So it looks like we have a little bit more users than I previously mentioned. 612 is the current number of active folks that are on here. And students are able to search. So they can search either by keyword, or if they're looking for someone within their specific major or industry, they can kind of filter that way. So for example, if I was interested in being like a project manager, I can search and it'll show me all of the folks that have that somewhere on their profile within their experience. Any of these folks, I can click on their profile as a student, see more about who they are, what their experience is, and then if I'm interested, I can actually message them directly through this platform. One of the really cool things is I know a lot of students tend to struggle with that first introduction. So there's actually templates that are built into the platform and recommendations as they type and add to these as to how to introduce themselves for some core areas. So students really like to see that because it is helpful to kind of get the conversation started. The other thing that they can do if they don't want to start with an email, they would rather meet with this person, is they can actually request a meeting. So I can pick, a specific day, how I want to interact with them. Obviously, during this current time, in person is not recommended, but typically that is another option if they wanted to meet for, coffee and have a conversation in person. So I can select video call, and that is built into the platform along with phone call. It'll give them a dial-in number, and for video call, it'll give them both a link to access that. So they don't need to share any of their personal phone number or Skype information or anything like that. Right, I can select how long I want to meet with this person, right, and then request a meeting after selecting a specific time. So again, these are all working professionals, so we typically recommend either mornings or like early evenings, and then students are able to schedule. What this does for the mentor is it sends them a message saying, so-and-so student has requested to meet with you at this day and time. Would you like to accept, or would you like to propose an alternate date and time? So if that proposal doesn't work with their schedule, they have flexibility to still converse and schedule something. All right, so the other thing that's on here is, as I mentioned, our program. This is our professional mentoring and meetups program. This takes place twice during the academic year, once in the fall semester and once in the spring semester. So there's very specific deadlines that students have to meet for applying to these programs. And all of that is kind of explained on the program page. For this, we recruit from our quick connections, and then we also do outside recruitment to gather and more alumni to participate in this. And we do let the students know what fields they are in so that they can determine if they want to apply to this program based on the mentors that are available for that particular semester. So this is a great opportunity for students that want something that's a little bit more structured. Again, we have set dates recommended for them as far as like when they need to apply and when they should be meeting with their mentor if they are accepted to this program. So it gives them a little bit more structure as far as like how to create a long-term mentorship, how to stay in touch with someone, and how to build that stronger kind of like career connection. And we do provide resources as well as meeting reminders for them to complete that. Groups, as I mentioned, is not in pilot until spring. And then projects is currently also on break until spring as well. But what this is an opportunity for employers, alumni to share job shadows, case studies, or challenges with students. So let me switch over to an alumni profile. Because students are not able to post projects, only our alumni and other professionals that are on this platform are able to. So just to kind of show you what this kind of looks like, folks are able to host, short-term projects for students to get exposure. This was a challenge that we had from the Career Center that allowed students to get some exposure to marketing. Again, we'll be piloting this more in the spring, but just to kind of give you an overview of like what does this look like and how students can engage. So we're really excited about this. We're working with getting some employers for spring, as well as some additional alumni to participate. So we're really kind of excited to, offer a new area of exposure to careers for students in addition to the mentorship side. All right, so that is the SJSU² platform. Were there any questions at this point?
I don't have any questions, but that's pretty awesome. The stuff that our students can plug into.
Yeah, I wish I had SJSU² when I was in college.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think we all do.
I'm like, sometimes I'll go through like the mentor list. I'm like, that person's so cool. Like, I'm like almost tempted to just network with them and realize like, no, this is for the students, not for you.
No, that's amazing.
So our is to just continue to, I mean, there's so many resources available, and we just want to make sure that our staff and faculty have a chance to understand what they are. And if there's a way that we can help you get the resources that you need to share with students as you meet with them, or if you find students that, you think could really benefit from having an industry mentor or professional mentor, this is a great, easy, free resource for them to use. And like Larissa said, what's cool about it is once they start these relationships, when they graduate and become alumni, they will still have access to the platform.